Hi y'all, welcome back for another collective message of what Spirit wants you to know right now. If you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you're turning star family, how you doing? It's your girl, Lady Leo. We're going to dive into the energies together. This live stream is going to be about the 1212 portal, and we'll get information on what that is, how or what experiences that you may be having, and what you can or how you can use this to align with your most loving and highest good. But first, we're going to cleanse and set the space, call in spirit. Hi, Joseph. Hi, it's just Angie. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Frank. Abaroli. Hi, Nicole, Jane, Daphne, to say I love you. Chrissy, hey, friends. Hi, Jane. Hey, we've got some OGs in here. What's going on? Thanks for the love. I'm sending all that love and light back to you, times 10. All right, so like I said, we're going to cleanse, we'll protect, and then we'll call in spirit together, okay? Then we'll talk about this 1212 portal. Hey, girl. Hey. Hi, Maisie's mom. Welcome. Hi, KK. There we go. Y'all let me know if my music is too loud. By the way, while this is light, and I do have personal readings open, there's currently 2 people in line, Destiny and Jennifer. If you're interested, if it resonates with you to get a reading, it's Cash App, Venmo, PayPal at Lady Leo Spiritual. $11 for mini, $22 for career, $33 for love, and $44 for extended, okay? But first, we're going to do collective messages. Cleanse your energy. Hi, Sin Ninja. How you doing, love? Hi, Maisie. Angel, John, Jessica, Roberto, Rosh. Welcome, y'all. Cleanse my energy. Got some Palo Santo. Get this lit. Hi, Carolyn. How you doing, Carolyn? Miss Cactus, thank you. Send all that love and light back to you, times 10. Thank you for the support. I'm so grateful. Hi, user. What's up, friends? Happy Friday. If you're watching this live, if you're catching the replay on YouTube, how you doing? How you doing? Hope you're having a good day, a good afternoon, an evening, morning, whatever time you're catching it. Hi, Mizal. Mayra G. There we go, y'all. This Palo Santo has been on it lately. Y'all are being protected for sure. Protect your energy. Good juju for you. Hi, Richie. How you doing, Richie? Hi, Anthony. Hi, S. Ferns. What's going on, friends? Hi, Miss Jean. Protect my energy. Oh, it be smelling so good. Okay. I'm going to call in spirit together real quick, okay? Here we go. God, source, universe, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, council of light, ascended masters, and all other benevolent beings, light of the third heaven and higher. I ask that you shield us in a holy divine white light of protection, shield our space, our energy, and the stream from any outside negative energies, entities, and it is not allowed here. Spirit, I ask that you aid, guide, and support me in sharing the best and highest messages for the collective during this time. So to be, thank you, Spirit. All right, y'all, here we go. I'm doing great, Chrissy. How you doing, boo? Blessed be to you as well. Come on, y'all. All right. We're going to start off with this deck right here. First, I was going to talk about this energy first, though. All right, 1212 portal, y'all. ADHD. Hi, Jennifer. How you doing? Hi, Leanne. Hi, Kyla. Doug, thank you for the follow. Hi, Sylvia for life. Okay, 1212 portal. What is it? What does it mean? How can you use it? Do you even want to? So this is one of the most potent energetic gateways of the year. It activates completion, embodiment, and timeline stabilization rather than chaotic manifest now energy. So I don't know if y'all remember in October, I was talking about like starting dream boards then. You see a lot of people who are start working on their dream boards now, you know, but this is not really the time for that. We should have been, not that if you haven't done it, doesn't mean that you can't. Okay. Don't take what I'm saying out of context. But this, you have to think like we're in the winter months. Okay. This is all about like the tree or the leaves have fallen off the trees, right? It's a time for rest. We're enjoying harvest right now. We're, the days are shorter, so we're not as energetic, right? So we're really more focused on sealing moments of this past year. Okay. What it is that we've been getting in alignment with. So think of this portal as a crown sealing moment where the soul locks in lessons from the year and chooses what is available for moving forward into the next year. Hi, Chef Vargas. Hi, Amy Hughes. Hi, Certified Rough. Welcome, y'all. So, number 1, deep energetic completion. This portal closes karmic loops. Many people feel, so you may be feeling this as well, right? This is collective. Sudden emotional clarity, detachment from old desires or relationships, a sense of I'm done with that without drama. If something falls away naturally around this time, it's not a loss, it's an energetic graduation. Number 2, crown chakra and nervous system activation. 1212 works strongly through the crown and upper nervous system, which may show up as pressure in the top of the head, vivid dreams or lucid messages, downloads, realizations, or spiritual fatigue. This is integration, not overload. Your system is syncing higher frequency information into the body. Timeline lock-in, number 3. Finalizing which timeline they'll walk into in 2026. Releasing almosts, delays, and half commitments. Being asked to embody, not just visualize, their future self. This portal rewards alignment over effort. So you see what I'm saying about like all this chaotic energy about, like manifest. That's not the energy that it is that we're supposed to be in right now. Okay, where it's more about embodiment than it is alignment. Number 4, truth without illusion. Anything built on fantasy, avoidance, or false hope becomes uncomfortable now. Expect sudden honesty in relationships, clear recognition of where energy has been leaking, the end of chasing, convincing, or proving. And what remains after 1212 is real. Okay, so choosing embodiment over manifestation. Instead of asking, what do I want? Ask, who am I no longer available to be? Does that make sense? You're kind of showing up in an energy more where you're not explaining yourself as much as you used to. You just are. Does that make sense when we're talking about embodiment? It locks timelines faster than vision boards right now. So number 2, simplify your energy. The portal favors clarity and cleanliness. So clear your digital clutter. So those of you that get stuck on that doom scrolling, we can get really cluttered in our digital, the way that we scroll, what it is that we're scrolling with, the content that it is that we're consuming. Clean your sleeping space. Reduce emotional oversharing. I don't know if y'all do that. I can get caught up in doing that sometimes. That's. You ever get in that mode where you're constantly oversharing your emotions? Less noise means clearer downloads. Number 3, speak your boundaries aloud. We're being very clear, very direct. Okay, we're not leaving room for this, assuming that someone else is picking up what you be throwing down. Okay. So 1212 responds to spoken truth. Say no where you've been overgiving. Declare standards, not demands. Speak intentions calmly, not emotionally. This is quiet power, not force. So think of a lion, okay? A lion, when it walks up, like it doesn't need your roar to have any type of power, right? It's in the energy that it's in. It's just known. Does that make sense? So that's what you're in a lot. That's what your embodiment is you're not over explaining yourself. You're not oversharing your emotions. You're being very direct in the way that you're communicating, right? It's a power that you hold because you're in the energy of it. You don't need to roar to have the power. Does that make sense? Just are. 4, anchor through the body. Grounding is essential. Walk barefoot if possible. Eat warm, nourishing foods. Gentle movement over intense workouts. Your body is the anchor point for higher timelines. Now, if you're somewhere where you can't walk outside barefoot right now, don't do it. Y'all don't message me later. Leo, it be snowing outside. Just kidding. Okay, gold. All right, use gold and white light intentionally. Gold equals sovereignty, and white equals divine order. Visualize these colors sealing your crown, spine, and heart, not activating, but stabilizing. A simple 12-12 alignment declaration. You can say this aloud. You can write it. I'm going to say it slow in case you want to repeat it with me, okay? I release all timelines built on confusion, delay, and self-betrayal. I choose clarity, embodiment, and divine order. I walk forward only with what is real, reciprocal, and aligned. Final message. The 1212 portal is not loud, but it is sovereign. If you feel quieter, more selective, or less reactive, you're aligning correctly. This portal doesn't chase desires. It crowns the version of you that's already holding on to them. Okay. All right, y'all. So we're going to pull some cards on it and see what's going on. Let me go back up on the comments. Just trying to stay focused, y'all. Y'all know I'll get on a whole rabbit hole. Y'all ask me a question or I'll get in a conversation with y'all and it goes way left. Hi, Leanne Peace. Hi, Jennifer. You did. You made it. Hi, Mandy. She says, okay, I'm nursing a shoulder injury, but I'm great otherwise. Oh, my gosh. I hope that you feel better soon. I wish you a speedy recovery. Hi, Adam Perney. Hi, Perney. I see you, boo-boo. Hi, Seedless Honey. Hi, Pamela. What's going on, Pamela? Elizabeth, thank you so much for the like. Your birthday is December 15th. Happy birthday, boo-boo. Hi, Fun Guy. Hi, Miss Cactus. You think that's funny? Look, y'all, sometimes some people ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question, okay? But there's some things where I'll be side-eyeing people like, is that a serious question or are you just messing with me? Hi, F Club Purdy. Thank y'all for the likes. Hi, Bobby Campbell. Hi, Rion. Diani, thank you for the gifter badge. I appreciate that, love. Hi, Doug. Good evening from Jordy. How you doing from the Mississippi? Richie, thanks for all the likes. I appreciate that. I'm doing great. Kyla, how are you, love? Hi, Doc. I think I said hey. Hi, Sylvie. Shell. Katrina. Welcome, friends. What's going on? Let me ring the bell for you. Send all that love and light back to you times 10. Thank you for helping me raise the vibration. All right, y'all, here we go. So I hope that makes sense and gives you some more insight and clarity on like what 1212 portal is. Those of you that are newer to this kind of stuff. There's a lot of people saying a lot of different things. Always take what resonates with you. Okay. Even if you don't resonate with something that I say, dismiss it. You know. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. I hope you do live readings on the 30th. Where am I going to be at on the 30th? If I'm in town and I'm available, Daphne, I will be here. Live readings. Let me write that down. I try to plan on being here. I try to keep y'all updated as much as I can, y'all. But y'all know, like, I'm all over the place right now. So I'm here as much as I can be. I try to be here when I say I'm going to be here. But things get crazy chaotic. December 30th. Try for lives. So I'll put it on my calendar, Daphne. Okay. All right, y'all. Here we go. Hey, my emotions have been everywhere. I bet we just had a full moon, Jennifer. You know that affects our emotions. Moon. All right, here we go. Best and highest messages. What do we need to know? What do we need to see? What do we need to hear during this time? Whether you're watching me live or you're watching the replay, what do you need to know most during this time? What's in the energy? Oh, they're flipping out already. That's a lot. That's all we're going to take from that deck. They just all popped out, y'all. Zaloop. The Mermaid of Complete Commitment. So something needs your complete commitment, or you could be embodying complete commitment to a better way of being. A better version of yourself. Mildew Fairy, cleanup time. Yeah, a lot of us are. There's a lot of this commitment to cleaning up our energy, cleaning up our ways. Digitally, energetically, physically, and physical environment, mentally, emotionally. Dragling Garden. A new world is born. 9 on that card. That's about cycles ending, new ones beginning. Mend a broken heart, Fairy. Healing from heartache. A lot of people have been healing during this time. Healing can be painful. Okay, so give yourself some grace there. A twist in the tail. The unexpected. A change you did not see coming. So those of you that have been wanting change, okay, maybe it didn't change in the way or when you wanted it to. There's a lot of change just in the energy during this time as well. Change can be difficult too. And we talked about that the other night, y'all. What was it? I know snakes can get a bad rep, okay, but you got to remember duality. So looking at like the symbol of a snake or what snakes do. We got the snake card, and it's talking about movement. And, you know, originally people thought snakes moved because of the way that they slither, you know, but really it's their scales. It's the scales and the friction that forces movement. And that's really what the message was that like friction forces movement. So if you feel like very combative, a lot of conflict, it's that friction that you're having in your experience that's forcing you to make change. Does that make sense? It's forcing you to move. Okay, here we go. What else is just in the energy, Spirit? What's just here? What's just in the energy? What do we need to know? Hi, Kelly. Elizabeth. Hi, Christopher. You've been manifesting, Elizabeth? Hi, Naritha. Hi, friends. See what we got. Have faith in your dreams. Don't give up. Full moon in Cancer. Let your fears dissolve. So let your fears fall away. Have faith in your dreams. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. So some of you may be coming into some sort of new romantic connection. Be bold and make the first move. Full moon in Scorpio. Breathe through the tension. New moon in Capricorn. Step up and lead. Full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. And first quarter moon in Sagittarius. Believe in your good luck. All right, so let me read this back. We're going to pull some words on it. Have faith in your dreams. Let your fears dissolve. A new romantic cycle begins. For some of y'all, it may be a pairing of like a new career. It could be a business partner. It could just be soulmate energy. Okay, so take it as it resonates. Y'all know the drill. Believe in your good luck. Breathe through the tension. Step up and lead. Don't let pride get in your way. Be bold and make the first move. Okay. Where'd Mother Deck go? There it goes. All right, Spirit. That's nice messages here. Welcome, y'all. Hi, Transparency. Honey Bun. Thanks for the heart me. Let me send all that love and light back to you, times 10. Thank you for helping raise the vibration. All right, Spirit. Tell me about have faith in your dreams. Provide and courage. Provide yourself the courage to have this dream, to have faith in it, to not give up on it. Whatever that dream is for you. Tell me about let your fears dissolve. Let your fears dissolve. Y'all, I just got a lot of pressure in the top of my head. I'm not sure if this is like, maybe someone else is feeling that. If you've been working on your crown or your third eye chakra, you can expect to feel some funky things going on like all up here. How about let your fears dissolve? It won't be like that forever. Consume and believe. A lot about consumption is coming out in this energy. Like, what are you consuming? Give me one more. Also, there's a spider web on that card, which represents like creation. Okay, so believe that you're able to create this dream, this new thing, this whatever it is that you've been working on over the past year, over this past cycle. Tell me about a new cycle begins. Energy. Look at that. I always associate hummingbirds with miracles happening. So miraculous energy, freedom, regaining some sort of personal sovereignty or some sort of freedom. Tell me about believing your good luck. Intention. Have the intention on believing in your good luck. And play. Being more playful. Okay, so if you're somebody who's really been working with manifestation, right? Or you've been on the fence of like, is this really work? If you've kind of been in that zone of like skepticism, you know, like, is this really something that I can make work for me? Manifestation isn't like, it's not rocket science. Does that make sense? We manifest things all the time and we don't really think of it that way, you know, but this is how I like to explain it. And it also has a lot to do with like, you know, like children, their imagination, it's incredible. Okay, so it's kind of like being in that state of like where your brain is at, right? But you have an idea to build a house. Okay, so what do? It started off with the thought. Thoughts are energy. So then you'll take that thought and you'll take action on it, and you'll go get the materials to build it, or you'll draw it out on paper first, right? So you'll draw it out on paper, then you'll go get the materials, then you'll take the physical action to build it or hire someone else to build it. And then before you know it, you've manifested this thought, this want, this desire into your physical reality. Okay, so that's what manifestation is. It's not like a bunch of hooju and you got to go get, dead lizard tails and this and that and throw it all in a pot. It's not like that, y'all. Okay. Just saying. The newbies. Leo ain't about that life. I had someone try to tell me who I was and what I'm about, and I'm sitting there looking at them like, what you talking about, Willis? No. That's not what I'm referring to, okay? Open up your brain a little bit. Get out of the Disney character and let's have a conversation about it. All right, Spirit, what else is here? Tell me some more. Breathe through the tension. Breathe through the tension. I don't know if that makes sense. Hi, Squirrely Hippie. How you doing, sweetheart? Thanks for all the love. Send all that love like back to you times 10. A lot of the scorpionic energy, death is showing up here. Breathe through the tension. So there's something that you need to let go of. Let it be done. Finalized. What else is here? Determination. Defend. If you're having to defend some sort of dream, something that you've been working on, a way of being, with determination. So we've got a lot of the Scorpio energy here. There's some Pisces here. Heavy on the Pisces. We have heavy Leo, heavy Taurus. I have some Gemini here. Capricorn. Cancer. Sagittarius so far. Just energies, not necessarily people's birthday. Tell me about step up and lead. Hi y'all, how you doing? Welcome. How about step up and lead? Trust. And protect. Trust and protect your mindset when it comes to like this leadership or taking the lead on something, protect your confidence. Protect the way that you show up. Somebody may be challenging you on that. You hear it, kitty cat. So, and that could be something else too. When you get clear on your boundaries, right? You draw that line in the sand for people. Like, this is where I'm at with it. Either get with it or I'm going to turn around and just walk away. It can like irk people, especially if they're not used to you or, if you were in a different way with them before and now you're showing up as having these boundaries, you're holding yourself to a higher standard. You're being different and a leader. It can irk people, unfortunately. They get a little bit confused. They have you confused with the old you. Sometimes you have to protect your stance on something. Tell me some more, Spirit. Don't let pride get in your way. Adaptation. Yeah, you've had to adapt a lot. Adapt and overcome things. To step into this power. I'm heavy on the Aries. Yeah, a lot about fear. Letting go of fear, some sort of fear. So that you can grow. All right, Spirit, thank you. We're going to pull some tarot. By the way, y'all, I've got personal readings open. We've got 2 people in line, Destiny for a Minnie and Jennifer. Jennifer, I'm not sure if you wanted to know information on Mitzi or if you were purchasing a reading for Mitzi. So if you're in here, if you could clarify that for me, I'd really appreciate it, boo-boo. Hi, Natalia. BS Mon. You're on your healing journey. Really, most of us are. We're really always on the healing journey. We're always healing from something, improving from something, And that could be a blessing and a curse sometimes. We can get caught up in that, like, hey. Y'all better be nice over there. Cat fight, y'all. They want to act out. To put the kitty cats in timeout. Anyway, what was I saying? We can get like really like hyper focused on the healing journey to the point where we forget to live, you know? So don't like be so hyper focused on it where you forget to have fun or just experience life, you know? Remember to stop and smell the roses and enjoy your experience that you're having. But it can also be a blessing in a way where like there is no ceiling. Does that make sense? Like there is no highest level that you can go. I find that exciting sometimes. All right, Spirit. Best and highest messages here. What's the overall energy? What's your energy? What's the collective's energy? Thanks for the love. Send all that love and light back to you times 10. Thank y'all for helping me raise the vibration. Grateful for all the ways that you show love and support. 8 of Swords. This is where we're getting really caught up in our head. Paralysis by analysis, where we're overthinking things. Or maybe you've been staring at something like, have you ever been trying to solve something and like you just stare at it like for too long and it's like you lose yourself in it? It's hard to make sense of it, or you just feel stuck. And even on this card, y'all, it almost seems like these owls are in the sky and it's looking like down into a hole. So you feel like you're stuck in this like a certain something that you can't get yourself out of. But that's an illusion. It's swords. It's just in the head. So there is a need to step away from like, don't look at it for a little while. Go switch up. Go play a little bit. And a lot of times when you do that, you come back refreshed. Kind of like going on vacation. Like when you're working day in and day out, you can get a little bit burnt out. So what do? You go take a vacation, it resets, right? You take some time to play and you come back and you're able to find clarity and solve problems a lot better. It's good for the mind, the brain. Tell me about the 8 of Swords. The 9 of Pentacles, the World. And the Knight of Pentacles. Carolyn, I just got your payment in, love. Thank you so much for the generous tip, love. So grateful for you. 9 of Pentacles, the World, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so if this is you, if you feel like this is you, or maybe you've recently come out of this energy of feeling like you're stuck on something, like overthinking it, paralysis by analysis, stagnancy, those sorts of things, okay? The message here is that you have the experience, okay? You have the accomplishments, right? The things that it is that you graduated from, you know, you have that ranking per se. Does that make sense? Like you have all the badges. You've got this. You're grounded, you're stable. Again, you've got the accomplishments, the experience. You've done things, you know, you've overcome all this and that and what have nots. And so the world is here. Talking about this, you're ready. You're ready for this new phase, this new chapter, this new thing. So it's okay to invest in it. 9 of Pentacles. It may have started off slow, or it's starting off a little bit slower than you expected or that you want it to, you know. But there's a lot of potential for growth here because of the work that you put into something. What else is here, Spirit? What's the situation? What's the situation? The Wheel of Fortune. The wheel turns in your favor. Look, if you resonate with anything that I say over here, we talk a lot about taking risk on the uncomfortable, on new ways of being, of letting go of familiarity, just because we know what we're getting with that, right? No matter how toxic it is, a lot of times we get stuck and staying in situations because it's familiar. We know what we're getting already with that. And when we make changes, it can be scary because it's uncomfortable, right? So there's some sort of risk that you've taken. And it has you having some sort of spiritual jackpot coming your way. You could already be experiencing this, or this may be even, you know, happening 2026 time frame. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. Also, in 2026, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, of good luck, of higher knowledge, those sorts of things, aspects, and energies is being amplified. So if you've been doing the work, if there's something that you've wanted to take off, 2026 is a power year for that. So there's a lot about like, don't lose hope. You know, the energy's good for it. The planets are in alignment, if you will. I don't know if you ever saw Hercules, you know, and they talk about the fates. You see the fates with the little cords and the little funky looking eyeball. You know what I'm talking about? The planets are in alignment for it. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. Ace of Cups. And it's giving a lot of emotional fulfillment, a lot of happiness. Something that you want to be experiencing. What's the challenge? How you doing? Welcome. You're so ready for a new chapter, new beginnings. Yeah, it's just, I'm open and willing to receive blessings from my most loving and highest good. I'm ready to release all that is no longer serving me for my most loving and highest good. May you be prosperous in the year coming. And may you bless others' pockets with your blessing. What's the challenge? 7 of Pentacles. Investing into things. Wanting to know if it's worth the investment, worth the time, worth the labor, worth the energy, the effort of something. And the 3 of Wands. Because you've had a lot of patience with whatever this is. So it's like, it's really been challenging. It's like you keep wondering, like, okay, I put in the time, the energy, the effort. It's not like I don't have love, you know, blood, sweat, and tears invested into a certain something here. I've been patient. So that could be challenging your energies. Kind of like, when is it going to happen? When is my time? It's hard. My time is now. Somebody watch John Cena. Somebody into wrestling. My time is now. All right, Spirit, what's the highest messages here? What's in the current energy? Hi, Isabel. How you doing? I think of the fates a lot. Do you really? Hi, Restless. Hi, Mutt Meg. 3 of Cups. Celebrations. Joy. Gatherings. Could be a lot of gossip. We've had that a lot in the energy lately. A lot of gossip. A lot of birdies chirping about you. Tell me about 3 of Cups. What is the 3 of Cups? You already know if you've been doing good. And you got other people who aren't as healed as you are. Sometimes they can be side-eyeing. Like you're doing too much. Like you being extra. You're overachieving. No, you're not. You're not. You're just on your shit. Okay. Hi, Alex. How you doing, Alex? Hi, Restless. Tell me about this 3 of Cups. So yeah, best believe they're going to be talking about you, and you're going to be the main topic of discussion at the dinner. Hi, Jeremy. How you doing, Jeremy? Hi, Churaha. I don't know if I said that right. I apologize if I murdered it. I'm from Mississippi. I'll say shit right, okay? Hi, Robert. Temperance. Or temperance. A lot about patience. Again, with like this higher learning, self-development, healing, finding balance in the chaos. Sagittarian energy. Hi, Carmen. How you doing, Carmen? Thank you for the live gift. I appreciate that. I want my creation to take off in 2026. Girl, manifest it. Look at you speaking it into existence. Love and light, Pamela. The Chariot. Resiliently making this decision to move forward anyway. So this is suggesting that there's been situations like you're coming into an, if you're not already seeing this, if you're not already experiencing, you're coming into an energy where you're experiencing good luck, expansion, things working out easier for you where before there's a lot of challenge, okay? Or restrictions where, like, you know, y'all hear me say it all the time, where red tape is, where red tape don't need to be, you know, where it's just ridiculous. It's like, why are you having to jump over hoops, you know, unnecessarily? Okay, so now with that being said, you've also found a lot of patience in yourself and in situations, especially pertaining to like other people challenging you or creating more obstacles for you than there need to be. I'll turn that over. Give me one more. What's in the current energy? I'm doing great, Carmen. How you doing, love? Thank y'all for the follows. It helps me grow, especially right now. Y'all, somebody reported my page as I was the impersonator. Hey! Send all that love and light back to you, Thomas. Thank you for being here. Yeah, but somebody reported my page as I was the impersonator. I've had this account for 5 years. So at the top of my TikTok account, it'll say not being recommended. So I'm not showing up on the For You or the FYP right now because somebody reported my ass. I appealed it. We'll see what happens. Somebody trying to pull the wool over your eyes. 4 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. Yeah, where you've been holding yourself back, where you've been coming from a place of lack. You know, that's something I've learned too. Who was it? Ramsey. David Ramsey, not the Chef Ramsey. Okay, so I used to listen to him a lot, and then I came across, when I was in real estate, I came across Grant Cardone. And those two people will explain how to invest money and create wealth in 2 completely different ways. Okay. But Grant Cardone actually explains that he's like a billionaire. But anyway, he explains that money needs to be moving, you know, and if you hear other people talk about manifestation and energy work, you got to keep money moving. So like trying to like nickel and dime stuff is like you're actually creating more resistance to energies than you think you would. So just in those terms, you know, whatever it is that you're holding on to, there's no energy for it to flow. So think about abundance, right? That goes in alignment with the infinity symbol. Well, the infinity symbol is a ever flowing, it's an infinite flow, right? So if you're not investing energy, time, love, whatever, and you're just holding on too tightly to something, there's no way for it to flow. There's blockages that are created. Does that make sense? So it's creating some sort of hostility, conflict, this friction. So there's some sort of like forced movement here. Especially if you've been feeling stagnant. Now, if that is you too, if you've been feeling stagnant energetically or with a project that you've been working on, you know, if you literally get up and moving, go put on your favorite jam and dance like nobody's watching and see what happens. Go for a run, go outside for a walk. Exercise a little bit. If you physically get moving, energetically, everything else that you're attached to gets moving as well. Is that making sense? All right, here we go. What's the energy coming towards the collective? Y'all, these are popping out like crazy. Did y'all need a message? Here's this death energy again. So there's some sort of finality of, I'm not sure if this is a relationship, something that you've been connected to. Page of Swords, King of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to read this 2 different ways. For some of y'all, there's been some sort of major ending in a way of being, like an old version of yourself that you've let go of. Okay, these could be like negative habits, attachment styles, you know, being caught up in this paralysis by analysis energy where you've held yourself back. For others of you, this could be about a relationship, okay, with someone else, whether that's a friend, a romantic partner, family member, you know, but there's some sort of finality here. And there's information that it is that's being gained. So I don't know if this is like, if you ended it with the person, this person is spying on you, trying to see like what's going on, or this is you researching new ways to create abundance or this energetic flow or to persevere and prosper in what you're investing in during this time. Energy coming towards the collective. Hi, Sadie. How you doing, Sadie? Thank you so much for the cake slice. Y'all, thank you for the follows. I appreciate you. All the engagement I'm getting right now is helping me come out of TikTok probation. Hi, Hilly Billy. Hi, Hillbilly Mom. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Biadira. 1, 2, 3. I hope I said that okay. Prissy Rose. Welcome, y'all. Thank you for being here. Energy coming towards the collective. Eight of Wands, fast, passionate action forward. This is about desire or inspired action. Look at the hawk too. Okay, think about the way that a hawk, when it sees something that it wants, like especially when it's hunting, right? They have incredible insight, or they represent insight, but they have incredible sight. You know, like from a bird's eye view. When they get to that lock, they lock that sight on something that they're targeting. You know, they go in quick. Have you ever seen like a hawk like beeline it towards something? This is the energy coming towards you. It's like you see something's coming into, you're gaining clarity here. You're gaining clarity on what it is that you want. It's like you can see it. And like a hawk, you're like beelining it down to like scoop it up or to get it. So there's something that's being presented to you to help you prosper or to expand. Tell me what the 8 of Wands. Absolutely. You can share it anywhere you want to share it, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. That helps me grow. And I'm always grateful for the way that y'all show up and show out with me, for me. Now with the 8 of Wands. The Hermit. A lot of y'all are coming out of hermit mode. Some of you are going within for guidance, okay? So this is where we have the realization we're being surrounded rather than supported, you know? So we take a time of isolation to get back in alignment with like what our values are, you know? Especially if you've been spending your time too much at the B-dubs down the street and not working on your goals or your aspirations or whatever it is that you're trying to bring about, right? Or you're Netflixing too much, right? There's this energy here where this message earlier was talking about like the digital content that it is that you're consuming. And we talked a lot about that in today's energy because that's everybody has digital stuff in front of them, right? Devices. So what type of information and content are you consuming? Is it helping you to better yourself, or is it just there to waste your time and drain your energy? You know, I used to do that. I used to sit there and doom scroll and doom scroll and doom scroll, just nothing but BS. Wasn't helping me grow. It's basically brain rot, right? And after I went in and changed up the things that I was consuming, different things would show up on my timeline, you know? So now if you were to go into my page and you see like what shows up on my timeline, all of it's like self-development stuff or motivation or hacks and things like that. It's all something that I can learn from or keep me in alignment with where it is I'm trying to go to help better myself. And I'm not judging nobody. I'm just saying. Maybe that resonates with you. Maybe it doesn't. Tell me about the Hermit. Yeah, see, look. Something about what it is that you're surrounding yourself with. There's a lot that you're letting go of. You're letting it fall away. And there's something that there's something you're doing, you're researching, you're practicing, and maybe it was really uncomfortable for you at first, but you're gaining confidence in that, especially the more that you do it. Like, you got to start somewhere. You know, of course you're going to be wonky and unbalanced and looking like a damn fool when you get started. You don't know what you're doing yet, but you got to start somewhere. You're having a victory. You ever seen Madagascar? Y'all, I have 4 kids. I make a lot of cartoon movie references, all right? It's always in the background, some sort of a cartoon movie, so. But in Madagascar, you ever see the lemurs? Like, start singing, I like to move it, you know? But that one lemur, like, he's got an ego, you know, and he's got all this attention, you know, and all the other little lemurs are, like, all up his butt. You know what I'm talking about? All in his Kool-Aid. It's like that's how you're showing up here. You're having some sort of victory, being in high regard, getting a lot of good attention, recognition for things that you've been doing for a while. This is about for a while. All right, Spirit. What's the overall spiritual advice? I said all that love and light back to you too. Thank y'all for being here. Absolutely. I felt so alone since my parents' passing. Pamela. I can't even imagine. My candle business is starting to grow. That is incredible. Good for you. I hope that you have more prosperity and success and it continues to expand. All right, Spirit. Overall spiritual advice. Overall spiritual advice. Thank you for the love, y'all. Yeah, if y'all have some sort of business, y'all drop it in the comments so we can go check it out, see what it is that you got going on. Whether that's have some sort of product that it is that you create or sell. You have some sort of service that it is that you provide. Y'all let us know. All right, Spirit. Overall spiritual advice. Ten of Wands, letting go of burdens, the heaviness, the things that held you back, especially if you've been invested into either careers, mindsets, people that you're supposed to share a load with, and you start overextending yourself, you're letting go of a lot of that. And that's why it's like it's allowing you to move more freely or be more free, be in your own authentic energy. Double Flame Candles by Pamela. Oh, that sounds beautiful. What's the link, Pamela? 4 of Wands, celebration. And that's exactly. That's why you're coming into the season of celebration and getting all this attention. And it's not just like, it's really just energetically. You're becoming more magnetic. But it's because you finally saw something that you needed to see, or you're seeing what it is that you need and you're going in for it. Like this hawk. Give me one more. Overall spiritual advice. And then I'll pull a couple from these other decks. Ace of Wands. What did I tell you? Showing up is so incredibly magnetic. Now, for those of you that are here that work with ancestors or here for passed over loved ones, this is my ancestor card. Okay, so this is about them being excited for you, protecting you, especially you get more protection when you're on a path of success. Does that make sense? Like it's helping you to protect what it is that you're also building or going towards. Does that make sense? Now, for others of you, this is just passionate new beginnings here. It's like that flame's being reignited within you, or you felt stuck, you've been stagnant, you've fallen off spiritual practices or working towards your goals. That happens time to time, right? All of us fall off the horse a time or two, or over a lifetime, but this is where you've been getting into some sort of realignment with yourself, okay? You're getting back on track with something, and it's helping give a lot of good luck, expansion, and good fortune. It's bringing you into a period of time where you're very prosperous. So it's like this motivation, this inspired actions being taken now. So it's, again, with that energetic flow, it's helping all that. All right, and then we have 7 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And it'll definitely be something that you need to protect. So a lot of y'all have learned how to protect your energy, right? We've talked a lot about that over this whole last year, where there's been a lot of awakenings or realizations to the difference between being surrounded and being supported, right? Because everybody and their mama wants to come take a peek. They want to surround you, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're there to support you, unfortunately. All right, y'all. Let's pull from some of these other decks. Where's it going to pull from? We'll pull this Threads of Fate deck. I got to read from the book on these, so I'm just going to do one card from 3 different decks. So if it makes you cringe to hear somebody read, especially with the accent that I have, you may. I don't know if y'all want to stick around. There's a heads up. All right, Spirit. What do we need to know right now in this moment? Whether it's the first time you're watching, if you're watching live, if you're catching the replay on YouTube, what do you need to know most right now in this moment? The Pillar. Just in case y'all see something that has some sort of significance to you, I like to, and these are a little bit harder to see, these cards. The Pillar. $104, which makes a 5. Here's that big life changes. 104. Here we go. All right. The pillar signifies a need to rise to the occasion. It indicates a time where we may need to be all things: the backbone, the nurturer, the provider, the lover. The pillar asks you to step into these roles as best as you can, knowing that you are being pushed outside of your comfort zone. You will learn just how capable you are. It's a time where we take our gifts to new heights and learn that our perceived flaws are just that, perceived. If you've been resisting a new opportunity or role that has presented itself, it is time to step into it and trust that you will learn as you go. This is also a time where our container grows. We learn just how much space we can hold for ourselves and for others. Continue to listen to yourself. Fill your own cup so that you can be there for others, but do not forget to push yourself. Balanced pillar energy is being able to wear many hats, to hold space for family and community, but doing these things with empowered boundaries. It is placing your personal well-being and needs first, knowing that your service will be better because of it. Unbalanced pillar can go a couple of ways. In an attempt to maintain all control, one can get domineering and manipulative. On the other hand, they may find themselves becoming codependent, where their identity gets wrapped up in the need to caretake others while forgetting about themselves. If you find yourself in the shadow of pillar, ask yourself, where can I soften? Where can I put up boundaries? What are my personal needs, and how can I go about meeting those for myself? That's beautiful. That aligns with this message perfectly too. And that is true, y'all. When we get in that, like we feel like we're not in control of something, you know? You ever been in like a competition with somebody else, or just in general, just like some sort of competition, and like you really want first place, and you start off confident, you know, and then you kind of like go check everybody else out, see like what it is that they're doing, or you see their numbers and you kind of like start comparing, and then you start freaking out and getting scared, psyching yourself out, and then you get manipulative, you get fucking ruthless, you know. That's when we like, we have that over need to control the situation, we get obsessive about it. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. So don't be like that. Find balance. You know, where can you soften? Where can you put up boundaries with self, with others? Are you reaching your own personal needs? You know, thank you. Send all that little link back to you, times 10. Double Flame Candles by Pamela.com. I'm going to check that out. Hi, Bubba Lindy. Where was I going to go next? We're going to pull from one of this animal deck. Best and highest messages to your spirit. What do you need to know right now most in this moment? If you're catching it live or the replay on YouTube, maybe you've watched this 5 times. All right. What do we need to know most right now? Seahorse Spirit, watch and wait. 5-3 on that card, which makes an 8, which is about abundance, infinite possibilities, energetic flow. Card number 53. Watch and wait. Seahorse Spirit. Here's the oracle message. Hovering gracefully, the seahorse observes with the perspective of one who is not engulfed by the drama, remaining at a distance from all the turbulence. Seahorse Spirit appears at this time to remind you of the need to be neutral and gain perspective. Your message from Seahorse Spirit is, not my circus, not my monkeys. Spirit wants you to know that even if you're tempted to jump into the fray and try to fix things, the best way to serve yourself and others right now is to remain calm and simply watch and see. Another message here is that whatever your query, Seahorse Spirit asks you to step back from it. Be willing to explore things from different angles rather than a single one, and just observe what is possible. From the perspective of the position of the neutral observer, you will discover a myriad of opportunities and a deeper understanding of what you seek and why, and you will know beauty, truth, love, and wisdom. Protection message. Are you holding on to judgment? Sure that your perspective is the only correct way to look at things. There are as many perspectives as there are creatures in the sea, and when Seahorse Spirit appears, you are reminded to detach from the experience so you can view it from more than one angle. Pay attention to your hidden beliefs and how they affect the way you think, feel, and act. Are you being fair to all involved, or do you need to step back? Perhaps the drama you've been drawn into is your own. Whatever the actions of others, your challenge is to be non-reactive and not take their words or behaviors personally. Their turbulence may have little to do with you, so remain neutral until you know more. Your perspective may be quite different in time. So that's interesting. And that's true too, y'all. I've learned that the hard way. To not react to every single little thing, to take a step back and be more observant, you know. And I always like to bring up, I don't know if y'all get into The Witcher, I used to be a huge Witcher fan on like the Netflix series. I haven't seen season 4 yet. I don't know if I want to watch it. But Geralt of Rivia in the first season, I think it's the first episode, you know, Geralt is in the back of the tavern, right? He's very observant. He's very quiet. But that's a smart way of being, because you gain more information when you're being quiet and you're in an energy where you can receive, you know, you're observing rather than reacting to every single little thing. Okay. And then I will pull from this one other deck, the Sacred Rebels. And then y'all gotta let me know if y'all want some sassy affirmations. All orders are custom, so please message me directly. You love The Witcher. I liked the series on Netflix. But when they changed it up, you still need to finish the last season. I haven't even started the last season. I'm scared to watch it because I saw the trailer for it. And how they changed Geralt is like he's not stoic enough. He's too lover boy. Does that make sense? His character. Like in the books, in the game, in the first 3 seasons of the series, you know, like it's on par with his character. Lover boys aren't bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about like this character in the series. They switched it up so bad. Like that's not true to his character. It irks me, y'all. I can't help it. But I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd like that. It was. No, he's not supposed to be like that. Not that he doesn't have emotions. He just doesn't wear them on his sleeve. Like you don't know. He's stoic. Does that make sense? They made him too lover boy. Like, that's not Geralt of Rivia. Who's that? Okay, this is the card we got. Back on topic. Back on this reading. Beyond the mark. Can't even talk now. I get flustered over this damn series. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. Just in case y'all see something that resonates with you. Oh, I see DNA strand right here. So it could have something to do with like DNA or ascension or those sorts of things. Healing. There's a little dot right there on her third eye. So maybe you've been working on like expanding your... There's eggs on top of her head. So it's like you're being very abundant or fertile and like expanding your knowledge or your connection to God, source, universe, whatever that looks like for you. There's galaxies on this card. It almost looks like she's in the water. There's a seashell there. There's leaves here. So it's like all the elements are here on this card as well. Let's see what it says. I thought Cavill was a lover. Yeah. Did you really? I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was. I think Henry Cavill, like he studied that character in and out. I was very upset that they changed. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. Here it is, right here. Dang, you almost flipped it to the right page. That was kind of crazy. That never happens. All right, beyond the mind, the heart beats. This one's a little bit longer, y'all, so y'all bear with me. In the chaos of modern life and the constant fluctuations of our minds, it can be difficult to remember that a sublime sanctuary lies within, yet it is always here. Beneath the ceaseless activity, there is an endless, vast spaciousness that restores and connects us to something greater, something that exists outside of time. Some might call it eternity. Within that sanctuary, sacred sound is felt rather than heard. That sacred sound is actually being reverberated heartbeat of the entire universe. Your own heart's rhythm sounds within the greater universal heartbeat. The totality of life, all of your being, can be felt as one through listening to and feeling for the sacred sound of the heart beating within you. It is through this heartbeat that we experience a love that is more than preference or attachment. This is the love that inspires energies and moves us to create, even beyond what we once thought was possible. Your love for life, the need to feel alive and express yourself, and the quest for that which is truly fulfilling. These are the sacred urges that rebel against fear and promote passion for being alive. They flow through your blood and can be felt through the beating of your heart. This oracle has a message for you. There is the way of the mind, which can make mountains out of molehills, even when it thinks it's turning mountains into molehills. Then there is the way of the heart. It is the subterranean and moves subtly beneath possible obstacles, intelligently shifting with exquisite sensitivity, sensing the way forward through dangerous pathways and responding to what is before it even occurs in the physical world. However, with the heart's intelligence, we cannot see and know in the same way that we do when we allow the mind to direct us. We have to be open to another way if we want to benefit from the innate intelligence of the heart. The mind sees, plans, and strategizes. The heart feels, responds, senses, and intuits. When we walk the path of the heart, we must feel and respond rather than plan our way. It is a different way to live and create. It is closer to the earth and to the source of life itself. It is not for those who are lacking in courage and trust, but you are not one of those. You are being asked to trust your heart and drop into it. The mind is important, but it cannot supplement the heart. The role of the mind is to serve the truths of the heart. That is to create the spacious chamber of receptiveness into which the sacred rhythm of your heartbeat can resound. This oracle comes with guidance for you. Deep within, you know what to do, and you know what is true. It matters not whether the mind and its plans seem to agree with your inner sense. Your willingness to trust your heart and to rebel against fear will serve you well. Let your heart lead you. Be sure of your faith and trust in what you feel. Your head and your heart have been in conflict at times over the course of your life. This has brought you struggle and sometimes deep suffering. However, this oracle brings you the message that a truce will soon be declared and that appropriate outcome of the mind waving the white flag of surrender is imminent. Soon, if not already, you will finally be feeling that your heart is leading you. You will feel that your mind is learning to follow the guidance of your heart rather than trying to be out front, seeing and sorting everything out in advance in order to be safe. What a relief to let go of this old way. Your mind can become more relaxed and trusting. There will be a period of adjustment as you get used to living without so much foresight, but with more insight, wisdom, and energy in the present moment to create. If you're finding that you cannot plan or strategize as you once did, or you feel that you know less than you have ever known about where you're heading or how you're supposed to get there, then this oracle, oh, y'all, I just got chills. How you're supposed to get there, then this oracle comes as confirmation that these are healthy signs of a shift from head to heart. You are not proceeding in error. You're exactly where you're meant to be, doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. You are now in a position that is more powerful than ever because you are allowing yourself to be guided by your heart, a heart that beats in harmony with the heart of all existence. Your affairs are in accord with love, and no matter what may appear to be at times, all is unfolding according to the greater love you included. Here's the healing process. Thanks for the love, y'all. Hey, does that resonate with you? Send all that love and light back to you times 10. All right, so here's the healing process if y'all want to participate in this part. Lie on your back. You don't have to lie on your back, okay? You can just sit here and just be still for a moment. All right, with your hands on your heart, say, I love you. I trust you. You are beautiful and you are wise. You beat in harmony with the greater plan of love. You are my guiding light. Rest with your hands at your heart for several long, slow breaths or however long feels good. Hold on. It's asking me to. There you go. When you're ready, go. When you're ready, just go back to your day or evening. Anytime you need to strengthen your connection to your heart's truth, drop into your heart awareness by lightly placing one or both hands on your chest over your heart and breathe gently. All right, y'all. I hope that you found a message that resonates with you. I'm going to pull a couple of these sassy affirmations. This is the part of the reading where I'm going to do the listen, bitch. Okay, so if you don't like that, if you get triggered, exit out, scroll up, come back later. Okay, some tough love. It'll be okay. Just try to pretend Cavilla's still there. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Nothing wrong with Hemsworth, but he just looked too clean like a model was cosplaying a straw. I agree with that one. I agree about that. I don't like Hemsworth. I don't like Liam being that character. Just makes it too frou-frou. I don't know if that makes sense. All right, Spirit. Best and highest wishes here. All right, I got 3. I'm going to take all 3. Here we go. Listen, bitch. Choose you every time. Uh-huh. There's a lot of times where we won't choose ourselves, or we overextend ourselves in a way where like we end up blocking our own blessings or creating more obstacles for ourselves than we need to. So there's a message for somebody. The boo-boo, you choose you. Maybe you have to choose you and lose something else, you know. A message for somebody. Listen, bitch, no other bitch can do it like you can. There's confirmation for somebody right there. Okay, yes, you were the Holy Grail. You were the milk and honey. Okay, and no other bitch, no other king, no other queen can do it like you can. Somebody out there missing your ass. Whether that's a company, a lover, a family member, because ain't no other bitch do it like you. Okay? And listen, bitch. Blurt out your ideas or hold them back and see what doesn't happen. Okay? And this is where we talk about like these ideas that it is that you get. Okay? You're getting the idea for a reason. Maybe it's a little silly at first, but play with it a little bit and see what it can open up for you, you know? All right, y'all. Thank y'all again for popping in and hanging out with me. I hope that you got clarity, insight, at least. I hope I uplifted your mood and you're leaving in a better mindset than you were when you came in here. I'm grateful for all the ways that you show love and support, the likes, the shares, the comments, how y'all engage, the blessings that it is that you give me when you get readings and services. I'm so grateful for y'all. I'm going to end it here. We currently have 3 people in line. If it resonates with you to get into a personal reading, we're about to start that stream in about 15 to 20 minutes. So we have Destiny for a mini, Jennifer for a mini, and Carolyn for an extended. It's Cash App, Venmo, PayPal at Lady Leo Spiritual. It's $11 for a mini reading, $22 for career reading, $33 for love, and $44 for extended, okay? And I will see y'all again soon. I love you, I love you, I love you, Starseeds. Don't forget to keep shining that light. And if that light ain't irritate nobody's demons, boo-boo, turn up the heat. You ain't doing it right, okay? Love and light.